Hello and welcome to the Art of Cooking. Today I'm going to show you how to make suryuk or xiao rou. The choice of meat is pork belly, aka bacon with skin on. This dish is mainly served at shumai establishment. What really makes this dish one of the ultimate foodgasmic dish is the crispy, crunchy skin crackles as you take a bite. It complements the succulent, savory, mouth-watering combination of the meat and the fat. Now if your suryuk looks anything like this, hard and crispy, then it's not good, or rather it's considered as failure. When I first made this, I asked my mom to try it. She said it's a crackly alright, but then she said, I think I broke my teeth. I need to go to the dentist. I was really disappointed in myself. So I asked Master Wacha if he could teach me how to make suryuk. Please, Master Wacha, show me the way of making suryuk. No! So I have no choice but to resort to perilous action. I stealthily watch him how to make suryuk. I constantly observed him for about 2 weeks, until I was caught red-handed. Luckily, I learned the way of suryuk before he pulls any kind of martial arts on me. Despite all the trouble I went through, I'm going to teach you how to make suryuk. First you need is pork belly. Remove any hairs and tatas. Here I'm only going to use 2.9 pound or 1,320 grams of pork belly. Your pork belly should be skin, fat meat. In a pot of boiling water, add in a few slices of ginger and a couple of green onions root. Cook for a few minutes to extract the flavor. Once the flavor is extracted, add in the pork belly. Cook for exactly 7 minutes at a medium-high heat with a lid on. Why 7 minutes? Because I like the number 7. There's no other reason. Cool the pork belly in ice water. Make sure it's completely cooled down inside. Once it cools down, use a knife to scrape off any residues on top of the skin and wash the pork belly. Let's prepare the spices. 1 tablespoon salt, 1.5 teaspoon of 5-spice powder, half tablespoon of sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper, half teaspoon of garlic powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger powder. Transfer the spices into a bowl and roughly mix it. Next, use metal skewers or sharp needles and wrap it with tape. Now stab the skin with it and make sure the skewers are spread out. Don't stab it too deep, you want about 3 to 5 mm in depth. Next, take 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda and spread it around the top of the skin and rub the baking soda into the skin. The baking soda will soften the skin. Splash a little bit of water in your hand while rubbing it. It's much easier to do that way. It should look like this. Let the baking soda sit for 30 minutes. In the meantime, flip the pork belly over and make 2 cuts about halfway into the pork belly. Do not cut all the way or pierce the skin, just enough that it reaches the second layer of fat. Next, sprinkle and rub the spices all over the pork belly except for the skin. Next, put some paper towels in a pan and lay the pork belly on top with the skin side down. Rub some wine on the meat side. Skip this step if you're not using wine. If you are using wine, use either rice wine or rose wine. 30 minutes after rubbing the baking soda on, roughly stab the skin again. Next, in a container, add in 3 cups or 710 milliliters of water. To that, add in 1.5 tablespoons of sweetened condensed milk and 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Now pour the mixture into a flat pan. Lay the pork skin side down into the mixture. Leave it for about 15 to 20 minutes. After 15-20 minutes, take the pork out of the mixture. Transfer it into a pan. Let the skin air dry by itself. Do not wipe it dry. Store in the fridge overnight uncovered. The skin should be dry like this before roasting. I'm hanging mine because the heat source for my oven enters through the fan. For yours is different. Use a rack and face the skin upwards. Put the meat on the middle of the rack. Make sure there's a drip pan covered with water. Preheat the oven to 350, 177 Celsius. Roast for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, take it out of the oven and turn the heat up to 400 degrees or 205 Celsius. Roughly stab the skin one more time. This will allow the excess oil to come out. Now wrap the meat with aluminum foil, leaving the skin exposed. Since I hanged mine, I have to use a skewer to hold the aluminum in place. You don't need to do this. Put the pork belly into the oven and roast for 30 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 205 Celsius. After 30 minutes, the suryuk is done. Total roasting time should be about 50 minutes. If some areas aren't crispy or puffy, put it back into the oven and continue roasting for 5 minutes. Use a broiler if you have to. If yours looks like this, it's very good. If it looks like this, it's no good. Dame basura. Alright, so let's cut into this, baby. Listen to this. Now I usually don't insert any audio from my camera because it's really noisy due to the exhaust fan running in the background. So let us take a moment and gaze upon this succulent, oh so delicious, juicy piece of meat. Now let's take a closer look at the skin. It's really puffy compared to the one on my left screen. See the difference? It's not really puffy, right? Which is why it's hard when you bite into it. The baking soda along with a little bit of vinegar is really where the magic happens. So let's chop this into individual pieces. Just in case if you're wondering about the sweetened condensed milk, I put it in there so there's a hint of sweetness in the skin, instead of having a baking soda or vinegary taste to it. Sugar unfortunately cannot be a substitute for sweetened condensed milk. It has to be some sort of syrup. So if you have any questions or you are turned on by me because you just been foodgasmized, I think that's a word, then leave a comment below. Make sure to like, fave, and subscribe. Last but not least, here's the audio of me just eating the skin. Oh, and thank you for watching.